All right, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, aka Perplex QT, and let's get into this because it's late already. So he is most notably noticed right here. This right here is the face that I think everybody remembers from that 70's show. I have so many mixed feelings on this case, so let me get into the facts before I get into anything else. But let me show you a couple pictures of him. That was him then. Here's another one of him as the show got older, and he was also on the ranch. There's another one of him from that 70's show. Yeah, he's on the ranch too. He actually got kicked off of the ranch in 2017 because of this, but we're gonna get into all that. And there's him in court with his lawyer. His lawyer's so weird. But yeah. So let me get into the actual story, but since I can't do it the way I like to do it, like there's no way to keep a picture up here and do other stuff. So you guys know what he looks like now. Have you been talking long? No. Why, you can't hear me? Yes, we are, Stacy. It's something I know a little bit about. That's Scott Peterson's lawyer, it is? No, Scott Peterson's appeal attorney? Yeah, I watched the hearing today too. It was kind of lame. Like, I thought there was going to be more to it. I was like, hey, where is he? Where is he? What's up, Lady Liv? So let me say hi to everyone. What's up, Patreons, members, subs, friends, lurkers, haters? So I was actually really kind of surprised by this case. I didn't really know that much about it until I saw the hearing today. He had to leave. He had to leave the ranch over these, over this. So it's Danny Masterson. He's being charged. He faces rape charges in an LA Superior Court judge ruled Monday. Now, what I mean by that is his lawyer tried to get it thrown out and they would not throw it out. So this is where he's at. He's facing the charges. So obviously everybody's, covered up in masks and stuff. And the female judge rejected the defense stance that the case against the former That 70's Show should be tossed under the statute of limitations. Represented by his lawyers, Thomas Massot and Sharon Applebaum, Masterson was not present at the hearing. Now, what they did say is didn't have to. One of the first time I've got to catch a live, but not really a newbie. Well, welcome, Lori. I'm always typically here when famous people get accused. I need to hear all the evidence. See, Letha, that's exactly where I'm at on it. I'm like, you know what? This is so old that I have a hard time with it. So he was accused back in June. Now, this is where it gets freaky, and this is where Scientology is going to come into play later on. He was accused back in June. He's charged with 3 counts of forcible rape. He's out on a $3.3 million bail. If convicted as charged of assaulting the 3 women, he faces possible maximum sentence of 45 years to life in state prison. Now, let me also add that statute of limitations was changed. I know it was changed in New York. I believe it was a federal thing. I believe that law that I read a couple of months ago that stated, I'm going to get into, Jamie, I have personal experience with Scientology, that people were, what you call it? I lost my train of thought. That people were, that you had like up to 50 years. That's how, Weinstein got charged and a couple of other people got charged because of this new rule. I believe that applies to LA as well. So I believe it was a federal thing. Therefore, absolutely not going to get in. He's not going to get away with it. So the district attorney, who's Reinhard Mueller, for the sex crimes unit, who's prosecuting the case, said all the alleged crimes occurred at the defendant's Hollywood Hills home in 2001 and 2003. Okay, that's a long, long time ago. No, I already, Stacey, I did that years ago. That's a long time ago. What made these women keep quiet all this time? I got a problem with this. I really do. I said the same thing about Weinstein. I said the same thing about what's his name? The porn star. I can't think of his name. So all the attorneys agreed with the DA that Masterson will be in court on November 2nd for his arraignment. Now, at the time of the warrants this summer, Massero released a statement, that's his lawyer, saying his client is innocent and they were confident that he will be exonerated when all of the evidence finally comes to light and witnesses have the opportunity to testify. During the court hearing today, Ron Jeremy, thank you, Lorraine. During the court hearing today, Hunter also rejected a move by the defense to keep the media out of the courtroom. So the judge wants the media in the courtroom. Applebaum argued without success that the presence of the press in the whole high-profile media case creates an unfair prejudice to the defendant. Look, bottom line is you're either guilty or you're not. In a case like Scott Peterson, where you were really being tried by the jury, you know, in a murder case that you murdered your wife that went missing, I can see where that would play a much bigger part than a rape case, because falsely putting him in jail doesn't help anybody. Scott Peterson, different story. So I really don't think that there's that much to worry about as far as the press goes. And because he is a celebrity, people want to know. I also think it gives the judge, you know, some clout, but that's personal opinion. Prosecutors from Jackie Lacey's office said no objection to media requests being in the courtroom. Masterson was co-starring with former 70's show castmate Ashton Kutcher, who I'm sure is going to be on the stand, up until December, when the news of the rape allegations surfaced, prompting him to, you know, get off the series. Now, in a much more detailed look at it, they went to court today. So today was the opening court date. He didn't have to be there because it was just like preliminary. So they call him a famous client. I don't know if he's so famous anymore, but so according to prosecutors, he raped the first victim, 23-year-old woman, between January and December of 2001. Now, here's my other question. Did he rape her multiple times? What do you mean between January and December of 2001? Did he rape her throughout the entire year, or the girl doesn't remember when she was raped? Because if she doesn't remember when she was raped, then she doesn't have a fucking case. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not buying it. He then allegedly raped a 28-year-old in April of 2003 and a 23-year-old woman between October and December of the same year. Once again, why don't you remember? If you're going to charge somebody and you're going to take somebody to court and you're going to destroy their reputation and their livelihood, then you better fucking know when it happened. That's my opinion on that. And that, to me, as a juror, that's my first red flag. It's absolutely my first red flag. I don't know yet, Sunspray. I don't think that's come out at all. I mean, if you're not going to charge somebody, okay, fine. But if you're going to charge somebody, then you better know exactly when it happened. So as of right now, going into this, putting myself in a jury position, the only person, hey, Millbilly, the only person that I believe so far is the 28-year-old woman in April of 2003, because at least she remembers the date. Now, if convicted, he faces 45 to life. The LA Attorney's Office said it declined to file sexual assault charges against Masterson in 2 other cases due to insufficient evidence and the statute of limitations. Why 2 other cases are being held for, got thrown out due to statute of limitations and this one doesn't, I don't know. I'm going to get into all the Scientology. I think it does too. He says he's absolutely not guilty. In a statement that the charges were first announced in June, Him and his lawyer said we're confident that he will be exonerated and all the evidence finally comes to light and witnesses will have the opportunity to testify. He's 44. He played the character Hyde on that 70's show alongside Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Laura Prepon, Topher Grace, and Wilmer Valderrama. Now, he was sued last year by his ex-girlfriends, Chrissy Bixler and Marie Rialis, and 2 Jane Doe plaintiffs in a civil complaint that alleged sexual assault and harassment. So he was sued last year by 2 ex-girlfriends and 2 Jane Does. The women all named Church of Scientology, of which Masterson is a lifelong member, as a defendant. The women alleged that they were the victims of public stalking, home surveillance, hacking, property vandalism, vehicle pursuit, and identity theft and threats. Bixler went on to marry the Mars Volta singer Cedric Bixler Zavala, and in January, the couple accused Masterson of the church of killing 2 of their dogs with poison. Yeah. One of them Chrissy Bixler posted, Scientology and Danny Masterson have now murdered 2 of my baby sweet dogs. Biscuit would have been turned 1 this week. Baby Ethel, please take care of our little Bisky. Till we meet again, how many times can a heart break? So his ex-girlfriend is accusing him of killing her dogs and everything else. In a rare statement about the case last year, Masterson called the civil lawsuit beyond ridiculous and said he intends to countersue anyone who jumped on the bandwagon for the damage they caused me and my family. The actor is married to actress and model Bijou Phillips, was fired from the Netflix show The Ranch when the allegations surfaced. Now, let me tell you what I got personally. I can tell you a lot about Scientology, and I can tell you that Scientology is fucked up. Hands down, they're fucked up. But unlike Fran, I've never heard them poison pets, ever. And I was in the Church of Scientology for a long time. I mean, not a super long time, but about a year. And no, I've never heard them hurt an animal, ever. Never even saw anybody say they hurt an animal. That right there is the first time I'm ever hearing it. But let me go a step further. If that's true that they hurt animals and this girl's part of Scientology, then she knows exactly how to get to them. She knows exactly what they're going to do or what she thinks they're going to do or anything else. Now, this also tells me that they were originally after money because this was a civil complaint that they filed and it didn't go anywhere. This was August of 2019. So there was a 46-page complaint that Masterson conspired with the controversial church to make 4 women's lives living hell after they stepped forward and cooperated with the police investigation. So Masterson's ex-girlfriend, Chrissy and Marie, are named as plaintiffs in the suit submitted Wednesday. The other 2 women are identified as Jane Does. So here we have 2 women that are scorned, that originally went after him for money. They made the leader's wife disappear. They're not going to think twice about an animal. I don't know. I just never heard of it. So the civil suit originally went with they were just looking for money. Now all of a sudden it's rape. So Jane Doe 2 alleges that shortly after she wrote a social media post in March urging the FBI to investigate Scientology, her credit card was stolen and used to deliver $4,000 worth of merchandise from vitamin suppliers and Victoria's Secret to her home. As a result of defendants' conduct, plaintiffs reasonably feared for their safety and the safety of their immediate family, and plaintiffs suffered substantial emotional distress. Now, Masterson said, this is absolutely beyond ridiculous. I'm not going to fight my ex-girlfriend in the media like she's been baiting me to do for more than 2 years. I will beat her in court. I look forward to it because the public will finally be able to learn the truth and see how I've been railroaded by these women. And once her lawsuit is thrown out, I intend to sue her and others who jumped on the bandwagon for the damage they caused me. He previously called the rape allegations outrageous and said he was very disappointed when he was written off the ranch, and which he appeared alongside Ashton Kutcher. Now, he was also dumped by the United Talent Agency, which represented him for more than 20 years. Now, here's the thing. He has a 5-year-old daughter. And he's married to Bijou Phillips. I will say I want to see evidence. I want to see hardcore evidence because I am not liking the way this is turning out. I think these girls were burned. I think they were pissed. And I'm just saying, I think they're pissed. I think they're mad he got married and not to them. I think they tried a civil lawsuit. They figured they were going to lose because he's got more money, and now they're coming back with rape. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it yet. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm not saying that, he's innocent, and I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm saying that I think it's bullshit. I do. I'm just not buying it. So the trial started today. Nothing really happened other than they were moving forward. Hey, GB. But I don't know. I'm not buying it. But it is definitely a case that I will be following because I'm really interested. I also, as someone who lived in LA, as someone who lived in West Hollywood, yeah, the casting couch is real. You date a celebrity. Do I think that he thought he was too big? No, because here's what you don't have. And this to me means something. He's never bothered anybody. He's never been in the public before. Could he be a quiet rapist? Of course he could. But he's never been bad-mouthed in the public. He's never been in trouble with the law, nothing. You never hear it about, him being, him sexually harassing anybody or him doing anything. He was never bad-mouthed in the public. So now all of a sudden these ex-girlfriends come out and they're going to badmouth him? I don't think so. Now, as far as what they're claiming about Scientology, yeah, I believe that. I do. I believe that. I don't know how high. Yeah, he really has that much money. I mean, he doesn't have Weinstein's money, but let me see what he's worth. I mean, he's out on $3.3 million bail. Yeah, he's worth $16 million. I'd say that's a decent amount of money. He's young too. He was actually born in 1976, and he's from Long Island. He's from my hometown. Not my hometown, but Suffolk County. And then he moved to Nassau, grew up in Garden City and East Williston. East Williston is a pretty bad area. He was a child model, did magazines and stuff, early 90s. He had a role in Beethoven's Second, and then starred as Justin and Sybil. He's been on that 70's show. He's been on Punk'd. He's been on Mad TV. He's done a lot of stuff with Ashton Kutcher. So he also, in 1997, he started DJing. Not necessarily golden. It could be a cash bond. If it's a cash bond, it's $350. All right, Aussie Flag, you were just fucking trashing me in another live. So I'm not really sure why you're here. Because I saw it with my own eyes. So I'm just not buying it. I'm really not. Good night, Mom. Good night, hon. Love you. And it's all the same women. I'm just not buying it. It's that I haven't seen yet. But I pretty much sure he'll be at a trial. But like, here's the thing. So on January 22nd, Bixler reported that a second dog of her family pets had to be put down due to being fed rat poison wrapped inside a rolled up piece of meat, alleging this was done by Scientologists in response to his repeated public statements alleging Masterson raped his wife, who was one of the 4 women who filed suit against him. So he is yet to respond to this at all. And he's yet to respond to it at all. And at that point, didn't respond to the prior rape allegations made by Chrissy, which is his ex-girlfriend, with the closest acknowledgement being Masterson's wife, making an Instagram account mocking Bixler's court papers against Masterson. Now, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. Seriously. He started dating actually that wouldn't matter. That's too much. Too much time has passed. I was going to say for them to be jilted. But I don't know. Like, they were dating. They weren't, he didn't just rape her. Like, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. To me, that kind of, I know there's date rape and you could rape your girlfriend or whatever, but it was his girlfriend. They were dating. All of these girls he's dating. So I have a hard time believing that this is anything like the other rape cases. This is nothing like some of these other rape cases or Weinstein. Scientology will protect him through all of this, but so would the Catholic religion. I mean, Blink, let me say this, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. No, Golden, I'm not trying to offend anyone, Blink, but the Catholic religion protected priests for a very long time. So and they still protect them. So Scientology protecting their own is no different than Catholic. And Catholic priests a lot of Catholic priests were molesting little boys, which I think is far worse than this. So, but maybe because I'm a mom. Or set them up if they want it out. Exactly. But I just don't want to hear what I don't want people to say, oh, Scientology is going to protect. Scientology this. Well, Catholic religion protects just as much, if not more. And worse crimes. You know, those priests will never be brought to trial, no matter what. So the biggest business in the world is protecting 10 times more than Scientology, because Scientology can't keep them out of court. The Catholic Church can. I don't remember ever seeing any priest that's been brought to trial for molesting a boy. So I'll just leave it at that. I believe that, Lorraine. I definitely believe that. Lorraine would be like, take this, take that. But you know what I'm saying, though? So that's where Scientology should not be blamed just for protecting their own. Of course they're going to protect their own. Everybody protects their own. But they can only protect them so far. And they couldn't protect them in court. Will they lie on the stand? I'm sure they will. So would other people. You know, people lie on the stand all the time. So, he has a long credentials. He's got a long list of credentials. But I'm just not convinced that I believe it. I'm not convinced that I believe the case. I'm not convinced. Scientology pays LA police a lot of money and no charges were ever made. They pay for what? They pay for what, Blink? Wait a second. I did not know that. Hold on. She the daughter? Okay. So his wife is half sisters. Hold on, Lorraine. His wife is half sisters with Mackenzie Phillips from, um, you know, who Mackenzie Phillips is. She's from that show with Valerie Bertinelli. I can't think of the name. She was a big drug addict that got help. I didn't realize it was her half sister. Yeah, I didn't realize that. They pay for the law to look the other way. Yeah, but so does everybody. Cops pay look the other way. People pay off cops every single day. Every day. Yeah, I was thinking she was Mackenzie Phillips' daughter. Because you know, Mackenzie Phillips and her dad had sex. So I was thinking maybe she was their kid or something. Okay. So let me go back to one day at a time. Thank you, Blink. Let me go back to Scientology. This is what I can tell you about Scientology. I don't care what Leah Phelps said. I'm sure her whole story is true, but I know from personal experience. I'm just going to tell you from personal experience. People pay into Scientology. You're paying big, big bucks to move up those ranks. So they're going to protect you because you're keeping them alive with your money. You're keeping them standing. Scientology is no more. I believe me, Lorraine, I am. Scientology, the premise of Scientology is awesome. The premise of it, it's gotten lost in money. It got lost in celebrities. It got lost in a lot of things. But Scientology's premise, I live by. And that premise is it's mind over matter, that you are in control of every single thing in your life, that you pave your path. Nobody else does. You pave it. You make your own destiny. And I believe that you're going to let the ghost of your past eat away at you. No. Get rid of all your demons, get rid of all your past. You can't change the past. That's what the premise of Scientology is. And I absolutely agree with it. Life is too short. I absolutely agree with it. Now, being in the Church of Scientology, like you guys already all know the story, but being in the Church of Scientology, yes, it's a cult. And it's sad that they let the premise get away with the cult or change it into a cult. And they really do make it a cult. I still remember these people fucking, standing over me. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's just, it's definitely not a pyramid scheme by definition at all. It is the fact that they take such a solid premise and they destroyed it. They destroyed it over money, and you have to take these classes and, you'll get higher. But at the same time, it is absolutely no different than any other organized religion. It's exactly, Wayne. It's nothing worse than Christianity. It's nothing worse than Catholics. Churches weren't built on no money. Priests aren't made for no money. All the things you see, those stained glass windows in churches, hey, Just Angel, those stained glass windows in churches cost money. Everything costs money. See, Lorraine, I would like someone like you on panel because you're in Ireland and you're all the way on the other side of the world, and I think you would be interesting to how religion is. But no matter what religion, you get married, for example, you got to pay. You got to pay for your church, you got to pay for your priest, and you times that by all the donations and everything else. Scientology just does it in a different way. But Diego, you do. You may personally not, but other people do. Other people are funding that church to keep it going. Other people are paying for that church to keep it going. You see donations, you see buckets go around. I mean, everything you see in a church is not cheap. Funeral costs, a wedding cost, everything that happens in a church, it's not cheap. It's no different than Scientology. Where Scientology fails, like truly fails, is they pressure you so much and you have to pay your way up. Now, they'll tell you, yeah, they offer you a personality test. They tell you that they are not a cult and that I've taken them, that they're not a cult, but you have to pay your way up. And they'll tell you, oh, it's like college. You have to pay your way through college. Yeah, you do, but you're getting something out of it that you can use in real world. You don't get out of that when you're in, but the Catholic Church does too, handmade dolls. All organized religion does. Every single one of it. The only one that I've ever seen that does not destroy a family is Judaism. That's fact. I've never seen a Jewish family destroyed because of temple. We donate churches, but it's not our monthly wage. It's optional. And that's what I'm saying, that I understand organized religion pays tithes when they pass. Okay, all right, let's go a step further. What about all the evangelists out there? What about all the people preaching, we're going to get rid of your demons and everything else? Just remember something. Every single religion, every single organized religion, I don't care what it is, organized religion, has the same pattern. Follow me, believe in me, and I'm going to get you into the afterlife. Jamie, I'm going to give you the example I said earlier. You've never seen my church destroy families. And maybe not yours in particular. And I never saw, and not every church of Scientology destroys people. It's the same thing. Not every church has a priest that molested a child, but many, many, many do. I found out a couple of years ago that the Diocese of Rockville Center, which was the priest that we used, or the not the priest, diocese, I think it's called. I forgot. Diocese, maybe. They were in, not him, but they were in a lot of trouble for molesting. That's like one of the biggest ones you can go to on Long Island. And there were a lot of priests that got caught, and thank God he wasn't one of them. But yeah, many, many, many priests have been accused and not convicted, but accused of it. So Scientology, I'm not saying Scientology is perfect. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of fucking problems with Scientology. And I know it firsthand. And I know that they're a cult. Don't get me wrong. But to say they're a cult, but say the Catholic religion is not, or Muslim, or any other organized religion that has these, diehard people in it, it's the same thing. Scientology, to believe, it's the one thing about John Travolta I never liked. No, we did not come from aliens. Sorry, not buying it, John. Archdiocese, thank you. I knew it was like diocese or something. I couldn't think. It's been a long time. We don't have confession boxes or anything. See, I think confession boxes are a joke. Everything's done in the open now. Thank God for the changes. People have a voice. Okay. Who killed a nun because she was going to tell on him. I think it's called a helper. Oh, I believe that. Blink, I'm right there with you. I still follow the basis of Scientology. That's why I don't believe in organized religion. But once it becomes organized religion, I'm not into it. It's totally different for me. And that's where Scientology has brought me. But that's like a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get into a 2-hour conversation on it. I was just bringing up a specific point that this guy, that Scientology will help him. I'm not, if they're going to charge Scientology, if he did the rape, Scientology did not rape her. These were his ex-girlfriends. I think they're bitter. I think they came together because they're bitter. Christianity is way worse. Scientology has a much longer, darker history. Wayne, I absolutely agree with you. I'm even going to highlight that comment because I absolutely agree with that 100%. And Jamie, that's what I'm saying about Scientology. Don't confuse God and his message with a church. And I agree with that. The same way, don't confuse the message of Scientology with the church or with the cult, because the message of Scientology, I think everybody should live by. Every single person in this world should live with that mentality. Now, do I think that all of these stars that think they're stars because of Scientology, do I think they're brainwashed just like everybody else? Yeah, I did read Dianetics. I can understand that. I get it. Believe in God that the church presents, well, then you're following the church. That's a whole nother topic. Anyone from any organized religion able to heal me? No. Only you can heal you. Is it live? You got to believe, baby. You would not even know the power of what the brain can do. It's amazing. Doctors don't even know its power because there's a lot that you can do with your own mind. No, but that's where Wayne and Jamie, that's where personal belief comes in, and that's where some of us feel why Christianity is such a joke, based on exactly what you just said. If the laws of the world are the way they are, and they are, hold on, Diego, that's an easy answer. You know, if you look at Christianity, it's been broken up into like 15 different avenues of Christianity. So which one is right? They all say the same thing. So which one is right? That's where people pick and choose exactly what they want, and that's what they follow. That's why I've never believed in organized religion ever. No matter what religion it is. Doesn't matter what religion it is. Any of them. Diego, the answer to that is simple, and that's not even money. It's power. When some of the biggest stars in Hollywood follow this cult or religion to the fullest, that gives them power. Because if they want to do it, then other people want to do it. Look at me. If I had lots of money, I would have stayed there. I would have stayed there till I met John Travolta. Fact. But I couldn't afford it, and I wasn't going to pay for it. So, but all these stars do it, and not everyone is smart as I am, but all these stars do it, and that's why people do it. It brings in more people. It gives them more credibility. They don't want people to leave. They are no stars. They have no credibility. So they definitely take care of their stars. Our children have to be Christian to get into school here. We have to take, yeah, but you don't have any Jews living in Ireland, right? I was in California for a couple of years, but I was in the church Scientology for a year. A creep, but they're not all creeps and weirdos. That's what I'm saying. They're not all of them. But you know, when some of these stars' careers start going down, there's Church of Scientology to, you know, pick them back up, make them believe in themselves. And that's what it comes down to. It's believing in yourself. If you believe in yourself, anything is possible. If you get all bummed out about going on a audition, you're not going to get anything. If Laura, are you clear? Yeah, I'm clear. If you go, and I was audited many of times. If you believe in, if you're going on a lot of auditions and you're all bummed out, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting the case. You're not getting the audition. But if you really believe that you've just cleared your mind and got rid of demons, you're going in that full force and you're going to get it. That's how they succeed. I would love to be, it's so easy, Blink. You just put your hands on this, like, they make it out like, I'm like totally skeptic, but they make it out like, it's reading your inside. No, it's not. It's like a fucking lie detector test. It's based on your stress levels. And it's like these cold metal things, and you just hold them. And like, if it brings you up something that you are afraid of, your natural stress levels are going to go to that. No, it's not cans. It's metal, like bars, like a handlebar, but they're straight up. And they're metal. They're small. But if you believe, it works like a lie detector test. It really does. Everything that needs you to have faith instead of proof is a cult. Well, unless it's proof in yourself. The needle moves based on your stress levels. It's just like a lie detector test, except you're not testing. But that's the premise of it. But again, this is like we got totally sidetracked. And that literally, Scientology is a whole nother subject in itself. But I definitely wanted to bring that case to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to follow it tenfold. I'm going to follow it. Another one, someone brought up, let's switch. Epstein. There's some news in the Epstein case for Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal. Federal courts on Monday slapped down Maxwell's attempts to quash a deposition she gave in a now settled civil suit and denied a request to combine her appeals for several overlapping cases into one. This chick is fucked. So according to a news release, 3-judge panel of Court of Appeals in the Second Court affirmed by ruling that that the 418-page deposition, along with hundreds of other documents in 2015 against Maxwell, filed by Jeffrey Epstein's accuser, lawsuit was settled in 2017, and yeah, they're not letting her out. She said that the charges against her, that she recruited people for Epstein while she was working at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in 2000. She said that she was abused by Epstein and that Maxwell participated in the abuse, allegedly forcing Jeffrey to have sex with Prince Andrew and others while she was a teen. She sued Maxwell for defamation after the 58-year-old British socialite accused Jeffrey of fabricating the story. The suit was settled for an undisclosed amount. So they settled the case, which tells me that she wasn't lying. Today there was a ruling that to release the documents was correct, and district court correctly held that the deposition materials are judicial documents to which the presumption of public access attaches, and did not abuse its discretion in rejecting Maxwell's meritless arguments that her interests superseded the presumption of access. So basically, in a nutshell, what that says is she's fucked. And she's fucked because the judge ruled that she is not important enough and that the Freedom Act, that she gets those pictures and stuff, yeah, she has, the public has a right to see it. So they absolutely found her arguments were, and her appeals would be without merit. So it's not clear when the judge is going to release a deposition, but she's already released hundreds of documents and is known to be considering a request for 2 John Does that she redact their names and any release because of the potential harm for their reputations. So she's pretty much fucked. So today in court, that basically just says that she's fucked and everything will be released to the public. Look how much shit went on in 2000. Like, all this shit happened in 2000. 20 years ago. Crazy. What else? Hold on. All right, so these 2 Goombas, hold on. Let me erase that. Okay, so you see these 2 nice looking Goombas? Not. These 2 guys, one of them is a child rapist who sexually assaulted 3 nieces, is found dead in a prison cell. His cellmate is eye as a suspect. This is all news from today. Convicted child molester serving a life sentence in California prison died Wednesdays in what looks like a homicide. California Department of Corrections said in a statement that DeAndre Austin, 46, unresponsive in a cell. You know what? He should be fucking, I'm glad he's dead. Reports say that Austin sexually abused 3 of his elementary school age nieces between 2002 and 2006 when they lived in the same home in Richmond, Virginia. In 2008, Austin was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for rape, lewd conduct, and a child under the age of 14, continuous sex abuse of a child under 14, penetration with a foreign object with a victim under 14, oral copulation, and sodomy. Jordan was convicted in 2018 and serving a 5-year sentence for second-degree robbery. Officials have not yet revealed Austin's cause of death. A motive also remains undisclosed. Personally, I think this motherfucker deserved to die. I got 0 sympathy for him, and I do mean 0. And it's what's sad, though, is that the guy, if the roommate killed him, if the guy killed him, he was only doing 5 years to begin with, and now he's going to end up doing life for murder. But sorry, I think he got what he got. I think he deserved what he got. Now he can't hurt anybody else. Now we got this Goomba. Hold on. Now we got this Goomba. This fucking idiot raped a 15-year-old. And he just got arrested today. Guy's a piece of shit. And I'm glad he got a, what's a Goomba? A Goomba is like a stupid idiot. So he's in Pennsylvania. He's being charged with sexually assaulting a 15-year-old following a trip to a haunted house. His name is Chadwick McGee. He's 36 years old, visited the Halloween attraction with a family member and the girl and her family Saturday night. After the visit, the girl's father, a friend and co-worker of McGee's, invited him and his family member to stay over at the house in Somerset rather than make the hour-long drive home back in Martinsville. State police said he'd been drinking, allegedly assaulted the girl on a sofa while the other people in the house had left the room. When police spoke to him Monday morning, he told them that the girl followed him into the bathroom, and he told her he couldn't do this, that she's 15, and left. During a second interview, he said he remembered going into the bathroom while the girl was there and remembered kissing her, but couldn't remember anything else. He was arrested on charges of rape, statutory sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault by forcible compulsion, and aggravated indecent assault of a person less than 16 years of age, all felonies. He was also charged with a misdemeanor count of corruption of minors. He's being held at the Somerset County Jail in lieu of $25,000 bail, and his preliminary hearing is October 27th. So that's another case I'm going to check out. I'm going to be watching trial-wise. So I guess he just wants to say that he didn't remember. Now, in a the one I was talking about last night, I remember a lot of it. I don't remember all the facts, so hold on. A Goomba. I call him a Goomba. It's a New York word for an idiot. Like, you're a fucking Goomba. Like that. Okay. All right. Have any of you honestly say you've ever backed out when drinking? I've never blacked out. So, in January of this year, this woman named Britney Smith lost her Stand Your Ground trial. She claimed she was in Stevenson, Alabama, which is like 20 minutes from me. It's not far at all. January of 2018, she shot and killed a man who she said had raped her, threatened her life in her home, and then attacked her brother after he arrived to help. The man, Todd Smith, who had recently sold Britney a puppy, had been drinking, taken large amounts of meth. Yet within 48 hours of the shooting, Britney was charged with murder. She went on to spend about 4 months in jail and 6 months in a mental institution, despite early attention to her case from the criminal justice publication, The Appeal. January 14th and 15th, after this piece was published, Britney finally had a Stand Your Ground hearing. She lost. One of the reasons she lost, now this is what I remember. One of the reasons she lost is she claimed that this guy raped her. This guy did not rape her. There was absolutely no evidence of rape. During the Stand Your Ground hearing, there were things that didn't add up. So it was in Jackson County Courthouse in Scottsboro, which is about an hour from here. It's got a county with more than double the state average of aggravated assaults. Yeah, it's like Birmingham area. It's not a good area. Began with a sexual assault nurse examiner who saw Britney the morning of the shooting. She testified that Britney's wounds were consistent with having been bitten, strangled with 2 hands around her neck, and assaulted with a lot of force. The nurse listed bruises to Britney's neck, breast, arms, legs, and head, and spoke repeatedly about the incident. Discolored patches that can indicate the use of extreme pressure that dotted Britney's hairline and neck. She was probably hit multiple times and held down. He was going to kill me. At the conclusion of the testimony, which lasted for more than 2 hours and included dozens of photographs of Britney's injuries, Todd's cousin left the courthouse with tears in his eyes. After listening the one thing the nurse did not say is that she was raped. Now, it goes on, but here's the thing. The brother showed up with a gun. Allegedly, Todd had not done anything to him yet. Todd had not done anything to her yet, but the brother came over with a loaded gun. That is what told her that it's not stand your ground, because none of it happened while she wasn't beat up in the blink of a moment. Stand your ground. It doesn't mean that if someone attacks you and then they sleep on your couch that you can kill them in the next morning. It doesn't fly like that. So the Jackson County District Attorney attempted throughout the 2-day hearing to cast doubt on whether Britney had actually been raped, because there was no definitive sample of Todd's semen, which the nurse examiner said is common in sexual assault cases. The judge cited this detail in a decision, saying that she did not believe the evidence was consistent with sexual assault. She also cited a 911 call in which Britney said she had not been raped. Britney told me that she had been ashamed to admit it. In the hearing, Pierce questioned whether Britney had truly feared for her life. At one point, the attorney noted that Todd had not had a gun or knife on him, but he had his hands, his penis, his mouth. Britney replied at the hearing with controlled frustration, "You saw the 33 wounds on my body." So they were just pretty inconsistent. They felt like she was inconsistent. And throughout it all, the hearing was denied. They just felt like that she could have done more. She didn't have to kill him. The guy slept on her couch. Well, I just lost my spot. So they were saying that she said that they had a phone line wrapped around her neck, and that she was threatened with a knife and everything, and the judge just isn't buying it. So she ended up getting, she ended up getting like 20 years in prison, but it was knocked down where she only has to do 18 months. So what makes this so interesting, though, is really it's a matter of what you believe. Would you have tried her? Would you have put her away for life? 11 witnesses said that, including the rape crisis center, that the morning of the incident testified the injuries were extensive compared to other survivors. After reviewing graphic pictures in the courtroom showing 33 wounds, including bite marks, fingerprints on her breast, a broken acrylic fingernail, and evidence of strangulation, Sumerman concluded, "I think she was probably hit multiple times and in multiple areas." She testified that Todd raped her. She lay in a pool of her own urine. Todd threatened to kill her. And if anyone, about what, she said that the pair struggled again and Britney tried to scratch him in defense. Autopsy photos reviewed during the hearing showed scratches on Todd's body. Britney said he raped her a second time. "I had to lay there and let him finish," is what she testified. Now, Alabama is only one of 25 states that has the stand your ground law that allows for the use of fatal force in situations where a person fears that they or another person are in danger of unlawful physical force. Hey, Shyla, so half the states in America have that. Law applies in several circumstances, including when someone believes a person is using or about to use unlawful or deadly force and during a burglary. Britney's attorney has cited both of these justifications for Todd's death, but it wasn't a burglary. Pierce argued that Britney's case does not fall under stand your ground because Chris was the initial aggressor. He also stated that the law does not apply because fists do not qualify as a weapon in Alabama. Stand your ground, however, does not specify the type of force that must be used by the attacker in order to qualify. So one of the main, hey CEO, one of the main reasons why she failed this, why she did not get this is interesting. It's because the brother came over and the brother was fighting him with his fists. She then shot Todd because of her brother. She then shot him based on she was afraid that he was going to hurt the brother. So this has been a really big case, or it was a big case in the state of Alabama this year, just because, everybody thinks it's so easy for the stand your ground. And there was so much evidence that she, that she was really hurt, and it didn't matter. They still charged her, and she got 20 years. She'll do, I think it's 18 and a half years, 18 and a half years of probation, 20-year sentence, suspended except for 18 months. And just interesting, like, does she really even deserve any jail? And hold on. All right. That's another case. He got what he deserved. I agree with that. It's scary, though. It really is scary. How long after was she attacked? The next morning. The brother came over. The brother came over with her, brother came over with, I don't know if there was a gun on the table or the brother came over with something. And because the brother came over, they had, it all of a sudden didn't work for stand your ground. Stand your ground, it has to happen in the midst of the argument. You can't have a stand your ground like later. You can't shoot them later. That's why it has to happen in the course of a robbery. And if it happens in the course of a robbery or someone coming into your house, it's a win. But when it happens hours later, after your brother comes over and starts fighting with this guy, then it takes on a whole new realm. That's the difference. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I know I promised you guys a True Crime Live, and you got it. Here my attacker would to be in my bedroom. Nope. Anybody steps foot on my property and I don't know them, I could kill them. But I have to do it. I can't ask questions. That's the thing with stand your ground. You don't ask questions. You just shoot. He did deserve it. I agree. It is an interesting case. Well, I mean, it's over now. Buka will save me. But seriously, though, it's scary, though. But that's why I tell people, you don't want to fuck with certain states. We'll crush you. Victims don't have rights here? Why? Where are you? Wait, victims have rights everywhere. Widespread COVID vaccine coming 2021. Roll Tide roll. I mean, I could get into that entire case. And I will, but that's more of like a video to be made. Like when I'm live and stuff, when I'm on camera and stuff. Because that's a whole nother subject of stand your ground law. But on that note, I'm going to shut down. I got to go to bed. I'm tired. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's excerpts. In Canada, you can't kill someone if they're... Well, Canada, you don't have guns. So it's different. Canada citizens can't have guns, can they? Yeah, that's what I thought. So you can get in trouble just for having a gun. Which makes like a totally different scenario. Um, oh. 42-year-old Alabama man was arrested this week for the murders of his mother and sister 21 years ago. What's up, Four Scores? I was just shutting down. A Florida man. You heard me. 42-year-old Alabama man. Oh, you want Florida? Florida man kills boyfriend, sets fire on his genitals. October 11th. All right, I'm out. I gotta go to bed. I'm exhausted. So what I am gonna do though, I am gonna get back to. I thought you were moving to Claire. I thought you were moving to Canada. Now you're even further from Canada. Foursquare, I thought you were looking to go near Claire. Isn't she Canada? You are when the borders open. Oh, I wouldn't run so fast. I promise you guys though, this week I'm gonna get back to like it's really hard to do crime. Our borders are closed. It's really hard to do crime on StreamYards because it doesn't allow me to do pictures or videos or anything. Like it just doesn't allow it. It's just not as good as software. This is like StreamYards is great for like drama and shit, but it's not good for true crime. It's horrible for true crime. So we won't be using it anymore. I use it like in a drop of a dime. So, all right, but I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And that's it. Peace. Make sure you hit that sub button. I'm so close to 10,000. Spread the word. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I will be prepared tomorrow, I promise. Peace.